right? And what we do here is let the doer go. We get to the root of the problem by letting the one that's doing dissolve. And the doer can't do that dissolving. It's in self-enquiry when you turn your attention around onto yourself and you see that the self is all that's ever been, and that dissolves the doer, the ego. There's a good metaphor that's used over and over in Advaita. It's the metaphor is you go out into your backyard one night and you see a snake in the backyard, and you kind of like, ugh. But as you look closer, you realize it's just a rope somebody threw into your backyard. And you immediately realize there never was a snake because you saw right to the reality of it. The reality is the rope. In this metaphor, the reality is yourself. And the moment you see yourself, you'll realize that the ego never existed, just like the snake never existed. So that's what, like, it's okay to play around like what you're doing and analyze and investigate. That's great. That's how it can start to work for people. But just realize that the true goal is seeing that the one that does anything is an illusion.
So like the one that is motivated to do something, like the
one that wants to be happy, the one that wants to find contentment, the one that wants to be liberated. That one is the one you're trying to dissolve, to see through its illusion back into the reality of it, which is nothing other than yourself.
Yeah.
And this is where you start to realize what this doer is. Like, it's like everything in your life. If you analyze it, you assume that there is somebody there doing everything, doing the thinking, doing the knowing, doing your tasking. It all comes back to this I, this egoic I, the doer. And it's seen, and the doer is the snake. It's seen to the doer's reality of yourself, the rope, in which the doer, the snake, dissolves. Because you've seen that. I've only thought that the doer was doing this, that the snake was doing this. But in reality, it's the self that's doing it.
Mm.
And the ego is the master sleight of hand, right? I mean, it'll slip and slide into this, the most subtle doer it can be. And it's starting to recognize this while you're in self-enquiry or throughout your day. All of its subtle doings. And that takes apparent time to work through all of that to where you can really rest in yourself. The ultimate boundless freedom. You can always be playing with this question. Who is this I that analyzes? Who is this I that's doing nothing? Who is this I that regrets? Who is this I that's bored? Who is this I that's thinking? And it's the same type of question of answering, who am I? Because you start to see everything comes back to this one egoic eye. There's like a big funnel, and we're all looking out, this resentment and the analyzer and the doer, but it all comes back to this I. All funnels back to I. And then the question, who am I, drops that into your being.
So it doesn't really matter how you get there or what specific words you say, really. It kind of all falls into the same category.
Of I, yes. You're scrutinizing the I you believe yourself to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But how many of there are you? How many Jakes are there?
Well, there's, if I'm going to answer that egoically, it splits up many different ways.
But inherently, how many of you are there?
There's none. There's not even a Jake.
How many existences do you have?
I don't know. I'm not.
Do
I don't
you
know.
exist?
No, no. No, I just am.
And doesn't am have to have the quality of existence? How could you be am if you didn't exist?
I don't know.
So there's you, yourself, the self, everybody's self has two absolute qualities to it, and that is it exists and you know that you exist. Your existence, your knowing existence, is the only true knowledge that is self-evident. It's the only absolute knowledge that you know to absolutely be true. Everything else is in question. And there's only one of you. There's only one existence of you, of yourself. That is yourself. Your knowing existence is self.
That's the only thing provable.
It's the only thing that's self-evident. So if I go back to this I here that we believe ourselves to be, you could take this to be like a funnel, right? So this is the funnel part, and then you've got this tube that comes down here. Well, once you get here and you drop down, there's only one slot because there's only one you. So there can only be one way home. So by answering the question, who am I, you're asking, who is this I? Who's this egoic I? But the question will draw you into the truth of what that egoic I really is. The reality of that egoic I. Which is none other than yourself. So once you bring everything back to here, there's only one slot that takes you home, so to speak, to your being. And it's in that question, who am I, is that question draws you down that one slot of yourself home to yourself. You're going from the snake and you're dropping into the rope.
guess I understand it in a sense, but not quite. I don't fit the funnel yet, I think.
This is everything that we've taken ourselves to be. I'm Scott. I'm an engineer. I'm 55. I'm 6'1". I have a family. I this, I that, I is the funnel. It's everything that's outward looking. These are all of my so-called identities as an ego. And this is where it gets slippery, right? This is where it'll slip and slide into the most subtle doer it needs to keep you drawn away. Right? It'll become really subtle and slippery. But the more you understand how this funnel works, the more that you can see the slipperiness of the ego in your day-to-day life. So I say, who is this I that believes it's an engineer? Who is this I that believes it's a father? Who is this I that believes it's 55? Oh, it's this guy. I do. Well, who am I? I go from the snake, the one that I believe myself to be, the illusion of the ego, and I look at the snake, or the ego's reality, which is none other than myself, or the rope.
Yeah.
Again, you are nothing other than a reflection of myself.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so wild and like revolutionary, but it's at the same time it doesn't feel like it should be that. You know, it feels like it should just be normal because it is, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's only one substance here appearing as many, so what I am, perception is. So as I perceive you, I'm perceiving nothing other than myself.
It's almost like those blinding lights that peek through clouds. Crepuscular rays, they're called.
Yeah. But you're identifying with the cloud and not the ray.
Yeah, true. There's more cloud than there is ray. And
the ray is never, or I should say, it's ever shining. Right? It's only veiled by the clouds. The clouds are temporary. They're fleeting. They're impermanent. And the sun is permanence. So it's always shining. And that's what you are, and you're trying to remove the clouds through self-enquiry to see the permanent light of yourself.
That's a good metaphor.
The clouds are the snake, and the sun is the rope.